Hello everyone, it's Open House Thursday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have my co-host here. Hi ladies.
Hello.
I guess you can all just say hello because we started late today. So just
Hello.
welcome Obiajilu Ogbo again.
Thank you.
Good to have you on.
Thank you.
I like the green.
Thank you.
All right. So we're ready for a great show. All right, let's take a break now. When we come back, we'll look at the front pages of the news. People stay with us. We'll be right back. Let's go straight into the punch. Buhari, Jonathan's men clash over Mina's scandal. As Mina's family claims Buhari's government brought him back. Ex-president's loyalists reinstated, says presidency. Balami, Dambaza, others don't work for me, says Jonathan. Picture here, fire raises Governor Fayoshe's G-class in Oshodi, Lagos State. We saw driver packing burnt cash from vehicle, traffic officer. Senate wants some MDAs scrapped. Federal government lists Fela's house as museum. Only 30% JAM candidates can be admitted. Shekau's wife, others killed in air strike. How Titi Abubakar kept me in EFCC custody for 3 weeks, says ex-business partner. Senators donate 1,280 bags of rice to unpaid Kogi workers. Misal mentions Aisha Buhari, Emefiele Ambode in IG probe. Sanusi calls for debate on restructuring. Mitu's trial, court gives Bailey 5 days to subpoena Jonathan. $3 billion of the $5.5 billion foreign loans is legacy debt, says Adeosun. All right.
Okay, 2 stories.
The human angle.
Fayoshe's car that, is G-Wagon.
G-Wagon.
Caught fire along Oshodi-Apapa Expressway just before last month on Tuesday. And they said he got, according to eyewitness, he was in the car, he got off the car and entered another car in his convoy and was heading towards the airport. But his driver stayed behind, and after the car, watched the car get burnt and later packed burnt cash and some other documents. And there's no reason why,
they don't have a reason why the car caught fire yet.
Commendably, the LASEMA and the LASMA officials, the way they quickly responded to the burning car, they saved the situation. So we must commend them.
The value of that car, God knows.
Let's talk about Misal quickly, who is alleging that the IG of police, am I in my right senses? I'm a little dazed. Gave the president's wife, Aisha Buhari, 2 SUVs. And in all of this probe, he's saying that the person he really has a problem with is the IG. And he named Lagos State Governor and one other person. I can't really remember.
Senator Misal is just trying to strongly prove the allegations that he has against the IG and the police of corruption, saying that there's so much corruption within the system. They have to pay for positions, pay for all that. And he was now presenting an evidence that the IG had attached to his own application, which was the document, the letter written by the wife of the president to him asking for 2 cars. And
before we move on, because I know you want to take the jam, but before we move on, the cases we've had cases of House of Representative members and Senate members speaking up and nothing happens about it. They rather get witch hunted and they'll step them down. Please, the case of Misal has been going on. We haven't seen equal representation from the AGF to say that I want to take up this story to investigate. These are serious allegations.
Is prosecuting Misal already. He took him to court.
All right, let's take one more story.
On the JAM issue.
Yes, 30%.
30% of 1.7 million that wrote the JAM will only be given admission. And they've had a public hearing on Tuesday, which happened on Tuesday. They discovered that the spaces in the university will not take all of the people.
So whether they pass or fail, only 510,000 people will get into school out of 1.7.
Moving on to the nation.
But the story is a little misleading. What they're saying actually is that some of them sitting for JAM are ineligible.
Yes.
So instead of JAM, what's the word? Making sure that they don't even apply for JAM at all. Maybe because they want to make money, they allow all these people that don't have GCSE and all of that.
Will be that you don't have your
WAEC results.
Let's move on to the nation. Presidency, Jonathan government officials may not shared loot. Mitu court orders Jonathan to appear on Monday. Salami rejects judges monitor group. I read that story. Justice Salami was actually nominated by Justice Onogen to be part of a committee to
chair the committee
monitor
on corruption, yes.
to monitor corruption cases.
Yes.
And his issue was that he had a problem with one of the 15-man committee. He had an issue that they are people that he knows that he cannot control them.
I wish
and
we
as
have
chairman,
like this that have value for their name.
So he stepped down.
And
like,
their
you know what?
integrity above any other thing.
I can't be chairman and I can't control you. So
when you have your name damaged after building so much reputation and someone just destroys it because of politics and then you have to be restated.
Moving on.
You just have class like that. You
just
step back.
Daily Sun. Mena worked at DSS. His family reveals how expansion of reforms panel boss was recalled from exile, seconded to security agency before then reinstated. Presidency Jonathan PDP denied react. State malls parastatal scrapping a merger. IPOP accuses judge of frustrating case on prescription. Metu court gives Bailey 5 days to serve Jonathan subpoena. And Boko Haram, Shekal's wife feared killed in airstrike.
Yes,
Shekal's wife.
Yes, the NAF. They had
Nigerian
Air Force. They had an airstrike launched at the Boko Haram facilities, and the wife Malama fits.
No, the wife, Sha. The wife of.
No, I was actually getting the name.
One of the wives.
Fidasi.
Yeah,
no, the wife was representing him in a meeting with the other terrorists, and when the attack happened. Yeah. They suspect, it's not been confirmed yet. Okay, they are suspecting that she has been killed, but they're still getting details.
So why does it make headlines?
They're hoping. Yeah.
So I didn't feel the headline because I felt maybe not
there
wife,
was a
one of the
terrorist
wives.
attack this week, killing
Exactly.
22 people.
So
they had to give us something to tell us.
Was there another story?
Yes, Mena.
Mena, let's talk about Mena, yes.
You know, this Mena story is just everywhere. And you know, I love the fact that he responded.
There are 1,001 versions.
He responded in an interview, in a live radio interview with Ahmed Issa of Brekete Family Reality Radio in 2015, where he said that in 2015 he recovered 282 billion and handed it over to the former minister of finance, which is Mokonjo-Iweala, and the money was deposited at the CBN. Now, the former CBN governor Sanusi Lamido Sanusi was CBN governor at the time. He could, you know, bear him witness to that. Mena is really trying, and his family spokesperson also came out to say, you know, Mena actually fought for the pensioners. He's been which that
was his family said. Well, APC is saying that because he had worked with the Jonathan administration
of both parties. Now their responses against the APC PDP. That's really not my headache.
Okay.
So did he work for DSS?
The issue is, did they have any allegations against Mena's person? Yes, they did. And did he answer these allegations? No, he didn't. He went to court to try to get an injunction stopping them from charging him at all. And I wonder if they had case, and you have documents, because the spokesperson was saying that they will come out later to reveal some documents, you know, to expose the cabal.
So let's see.
If you had these documents, you should have just gone to court to save your name. You didn't have to go out of the country and become a fugitive. Interpol to be searching for you, wanted person. You didn't have to go this far to save your name.
Let's move on.
And you know, that's why there's so much question around this person. I'm really doubting the allegations now because of what the things that have come out, but I'm still wondering why.
Let's move on now very quickly to Vanguard. Presidency, Mena's family locks horns over sack. $5.5 billion foreign loan, every to settle debts with $3 billion. Olodi Akpakwa Expressway, Lagos CP warns policemen against illegal activities. Restructuring must address cost of governance, says Sanusi. And judge gives Bailey 5 days to serve summons on Jonathan.
So I have two stories. One, I'll start off with the simpler one, the $5.5 billion debt that we're about to incur. The minister said
loan.
that...
foreign loan.
It's a debt that we're about to incur.
You're saying it the other way.
It's a debt.
So,
what's a loan?
sadly, the statement from Kemi Adeosu is that 3 billion right? out of that 5.5 billion is actually going to paying off heritage debts.
Inherited debt. Inherited from the previous. I'm just making it clear for our viewers.
Yes.
Inherited from the previous administration.
Long and short, out of the 5.5, over half of the money is going into paying debts. And only 2.5 is going to go into execution of fiscal,
next story.
of which we know that is likely going to go into salary.
We don't know yet. We are hoping. But because he has specifically told us infrastructure. But let us hope.
Meanwhile, the Olode-Apapa crisis is a major one. Murayo, I was driving to the island and I didn't even follow Apapa area. I went through Ikorodu Road.
Ikorodu Road
down towards going to the island. And all the way there were trailers on the bridge.
Right.
Echo Bridge. They were parked there.
Right.
So what the police CP is saying is that the police officers, some police officers are culpable in settling each other and allowing them to take one way. So that one way is now illegal within Apapa region because
it's illegal
they are parked permanently. The response from the tanker drivers is that some of us are already built to load. It is those that do not have, they are not legally allowed to be there, that just park on the road hoping that they can subvert and get into load.
Question for the tanker drivers again. I have a question for them. If some of you have been built to load, and those of you that have been built to load are coming from the park, please, who will be parking by the road? All of them, we on the Oshodi-Apapa Expressway, all of us in Amod, we are suffering from these tankers. The tank farms in Ejigbo. It's a serious,
to make it a
risk, serious fire risk that they are posing there.
Right.
God forbid something starts a fire. That road is a lone road. It's a single road and it's completely residential.
Right.
Ijegu Road is completely residential. All the way to Apapa. These people are blocking the bridges. You cannot go to the island from Orile
at all.
They are parked, locking down the entire road.
Well, it's a work in progress. I know that place. I know Jumake is not feeling well, so just
Fashola gave them a park. Ashwaju gave them a
park.
Former governor of Lagos said Ashwaju had provided a park for them. Fashola also talked to them.
Right now, the issue is the road that they are constructing, and they have to now build. So that's what's going on right now.
When the laws go out, it must be implemented. If the CP is scared that the police officers are not doing.
Unfortunately, we have to round up.
I wanted to talk about Sanusi talking at a platform yesterday and mentioning how all the figures he used to talk about while he was CBN governor, he's now talking about human figures, you know, talking about humanity, how we need to feed people and stop talking all the figures in the air.
In addition to what he said that cost of governance must be imbibed in this our restructuring. You cannot restructure without cost of governance. So you have X amount of commissioners, X amount of local government chairmen, X amount of councillors.
Special advisors.
You have to reduce you have to reduce that cost of governance if you're going to restructure at all. So if whatever blueprint you need to restructure, make sure it includes cost of reducing cost of governance.
That is majorly linked. We need to run. Our senators donating rice. Rather than donating rice, they should just reduce their take home.
Senators were donating rice to Kogi State
staff.
Workers. All right, that's all we can take. Unfortunately, we ran out of time. Don't stop giving us rice. We don't want to stop back in infrastructure. Teach us how to fish. Let's take a break. When we come back, it's Thursday. We're gisting all the day. We're discussing being perceived as the enemy. We all become enemies. How does that happen? Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So a lot of times people around us tend to misinterpret or misunderstand us, making us feel like it's us versus the rest of the world. In most cases, whenever our saying and doing is not pleasing, we're termed as being the enemy. Why do people misinterpret us whenever we're being firm, disciplined, or doing the right thing in your own mind? Can we please everybody? It was at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. Yes, Togo wants to jump in.
So, while I was head of makeup and wardrobe in TVC and I was reporting to Mariah, so Mariah was really nice like that, the kind of person that wants to give you a query and she'll call you to let you know, I'm going to send you a query. And it's because I've warned you about this thing word or twice before verbally and you've not done it and I need to give you that query. Then she didn't have to do that. She just started to do it. And she didn't do it all the time, but most of the time she did. However, did I do the right thing and I got queried? No. There was a sin and there was a repercussion. Someone else in that same situation, even when someone was hearing about what happened and I mentioned that, oh, I got queried over the situation, like, but Mariah is your friend. Why would she send you a query? Why did she just explain to you? I said, she should not do her job, which is where being the enemy comes in. So if I didn't have that strength of character to understand that I have done wrong and I deserve to be disciplined for it, someone will put in my mind to start thinking that my discipline, the disciplinary action that I earned for my wrongdoing is actually going out, people start saying her as if, oh,
because she doesn't like you.
Add a story to that your story. My uncle was the executive director of a bank. He had grown through the ranks. You know how they do higher secondary school in those days, and you enter a bank without a degree. And every family member that I know went to that bank to work. But my uncle will say to them, go and sit for the exam. And the next thing you will hear, Muriah, is, uncle, you go safe. Must you is your uncle now, must you write the exam? And I'm like, how can he help you if you don't even write the exam? Nepotism.
Right, right.
Yes, first of all, you cannot please everybody because you're not jollof rice.
you plan that intro.
Even these days, some people still request for stew on top of their jollof rice. Now, when you're working in an organization, the best thing for you to do is to do the right thing. Now, whether you do the right thing or not, the mere fact that you're alive and you're breathing, somebody will hate you. You don't necessarily have to do something wrong for that person to hate you. But what I tell people is, do the right thing at the right time. Then leave the haters. If God wants to bless you, he needs people that will sit around the table to see you being blessed. Or just do the right thing. First of all. Forget about enemies, you must have enemies.
You see, I think thank you for saying that, because I think it was somebody who taught me that. I think it was Joy Isabel actually, that in the beginning when your view started, when she was leaving, I think we had a conversation. And she said, Muriah, listen, it's okay to be the bad person. It's okay to be the bad guy. Stop feeling bad about being the bad person. There's nothing wrong. You can actually, yes, somebody goofs, you mess up. Even you can even goof. It's okay. Accept, embrace your mistakes. Well, and when it happens, let it go.
People that blame someone or fixate their eyes on another person, that she's a bad person, she's the evil person. When they look deep, they miss out on the lessons. Because for every situation that makes one person look like the bad person, if you look at yourself, you might have done something wrong. So when somebody says that, you were talking too much on the show, and which happens, you did not read the papers, I might feel that, somebody is, why are they focusing on Tokwe too much? But Tokwe, did you read the papers? No. So I think a lot of times when we keep on thinking one person is bad, you are missing the point of how can I improve myself? What am I doing wrong? How can I be better? It even plays out in marriage. So we say, oh, you're dealing with your in-law or something, and somebody will come and say that your in-law is a bad person, but you woke up in the morning, you didn't greet your in-law.
Must I greet them?
It is basic expected courtesy of what is it? And you didn't greet that in-law, and you expect that she will be smiling at you. So if she now, her reaction now comes a bit aggressive when she says, you did not greet. You say, my mother-in-law is so aggressive. Did you do the basic thing? Right. If you look in, there's something you could have done.
Okay, I didn't want to mention the story, but I know I won't mention the story. I won't mention the story, but going by the story I shared with you this morning, I had a situation also with my MIL yesterday, and in that situation, it could have turned the other way, such that it's like, oh, this person is wicked, that person is not wicked, but because of wisdom, you want to understand that, listen, we're all learning from this situation. Let me come to Nima.
I have learned in life. I found myself as the enemy, not to one person, but to a very important group of people that I felt I wanted to be among. And what led to it is my nature of being persistent on what I think is right for me, putting myself first where it's important for me. I'd love to listen to people, yes, but when it comes to the consequences of the action you're advising me, and I'm the one who will take responsibility for the consequences, I don't want you to decide for me when I know I'm the singular person that will carry the consequences. Do you understand? If we were taking a decision as a group, do you understand? And at the end of the day, whatever happens, we bear it as a group. I understand that you'll be there for me. I would understand. But when twice that has happened, and I insist on what is right, what I think is right, because I'm the one that will carry the consequences, I don't want to be seen as a bad person. What is difficult is, when they now group you out. Another one that is very annoying is when you don't know me. You don't want to know me. You just listen to what a group of people tells you and call me the enemy. Do you understand? I have been in such a situation where I've been advised that don't talk to this woman. This one, she's very, very bold. She's very rude. And the way I deal with those people is that I will get close to that person and see the person for who they are. If truly they fit your description of them, maybe then I'll stay away. But most times, those things have been proven wrong. Right. Because when I try to get close to that enemy, I find out the person is just who she is. She's just a strong woman trying to do things right. and she shouldn't be judged for that.
All right, let me let
You know that every woman is a witch, especially if her husband dies, and every strong, opinionated woman is the enemy in most of their family members. But you ladies know that I will take this issue political. Because I find that I'm the political enemy because of people who don't want you to say what you believe in. They don't want you to criticize the politicians that are feeding them, regardless of what they're doing. It's their time to share the national cake. Why is it at their own time that Jumoke wants to be criticizing them? A lady said to me that, why Jumoke always happy about how much the senators are earning? If she was a senator, would she be complaining about the senators' pay?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. If I was earning 29 million, do you think I'll be complaining about anything at all? No, I won't. But the honest truth be said, except I change from being who I am, by the time I collect that my 29 million, I will pay school fees here. I will pay hospital bill here, because I cannot be looking at Nigerians in my street suffering. So at the end of the day, is it not better for you to pay me, a senator, 500,000 and take care of the basic infrastructure that will make sure that every Nigerian is not wallowing in hunger and lack medical care? So when I criticize politicians, it's so that all of us hold them by what they've sworn to. Good governance.
Simple. Want to come in here?
Yes. The thing about life is people don't like the truth. If you are blunt or if you speak the truth at all times, you will definitely have more enemies than someone who tries to please everybody.
Very true.
Growing up, I had that issue, because if you want to know the truth, ask me. I won't look at you.
You're not nice.
And I'm not nice when it comes to that. I'm that blunt. And thank God I got married into a family that they are blunt as well. So we blunt it out together. You blunt me, I blunt you back. That is it. But I worked in an organization for 5 years, and I noticed that I became the enemy to so many ladies because I was always saying it the way it was. I didn't know how to hide here, talk here, hide here, talk here, and all of that. And it became yes, and it became a problem. Like, must you say it? Can't you just pretend? Can't you just ignore?
Well,
Can't you just...
let me come, because we're going to take a break now. We've all expressed our own experiences on this, but in a situation whereby it's misconstrued as envy, the reason why you're doing the right thing is because you envy me. You like to be like me, and that whole thing just makes a mess of it. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll take some tweets on this, but we need to really bring this, because the women thing, this is like a really women conversation. We do this to ourselves, where we just hate each other. And we need to address it so that we can stop hating each other and love each other. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So today we're actually having a conversation with ourselves, women. Issues of hating each other, beefing, envy, becoming the enemy, just say, I don't like her, she's just like that. Those kind of things, we're trying to address that. So let me let Jumoke come in.
I'll let Tokwe define it, because me, I don't have women issues at all. I discovered from primary school that I do not have the strong emotions for women issues. It's easier to criticize politicians than to deal with women.
What is envy? Non-acceptance of good in others. If we accept that good in them, it becomes an inspiration. So when somebody is because why does this feeling of this person is evil, where does it come from? When you get criticized, you now begin to think this person is criticizing me because they hate me or they envy me.
They don't like me.
But when you focus on the good in them, you will be inspired by how honest they are, and then you will get that inspiration and help you go above being envious.
So let me take this call from Divine. Divine, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. Yes, I want to say that you being seen as an enemy is just a way for you to correct your steps. And it's obvious that you cannot please everybody. And as long as you are doing the right thing, you will bound to have an enemy. But the most important is your conscience. As long as you are not going against what is right, people will definitely be against you.
Yeah.
But when you are doing the right thing, in fact, I believe as a person that I don't want everybody to like me.
God bless you.
You should be worried.
Too much trouble, sir.
Am I doing the right thing? My conscience is my conscience is the first thing I will judge. Because if everybody likes me, that means I'm not doing well.
God bless
the
you.
Bible says that I will
Fantastic.
prepare your table
In the presence.
in the presence of your
So
enemy.
you need the enemies in your life.
How you be. So
You're good.
it's bad for you to have enemy.
Yes.
Divine.
Thank you very much,
Divine,
Divine.
if you don't have enemies, who is God going to
show you up in front of?
Now, taking off of what Divine and Tope said, if someone focuses on the issues, and I'm talking to women like I would advise myself, when somebody comes to me with hatred, and I focus on the issue, and you find people say that my arguments are usually issues-based rather than personality. I'm not going to look at who Mariah is on a daily basis to judge why she's saying what she's saying. I'm just going to be logically looking at what she's saying. Are there some facts in it? That's one I will hold and forget about her personality.
So take the sense and throw away the none. Like I always say, when someone, you know someone is perceiving you as the enemy and you think you've done everything just to justify your not being one. You have tried. I always say to somebody, I can't continue to hit my head on a brick wall. I can't continue to try to justify or try to repair myself in front of somebody I didn't damage myself in front of. You were not there, you don't know my story, so that's none of your business. Do you understand? But once you're given the opportunity to repair the damage and you decide to keep quiet, do you understand? If somebody gives you the opportunity to say your own, explain away what you have done, and you decide to keep quiet, you really cannot blame the person for what the person concludes.
Let me take this call from Labi. Labi from Lekki, are you there?
Well spoken.
Yes. You see, what I actually want to encourage you people is that one thing I noticed, I've been following this program for long, and I discovered that you have conscience. And for people who have conscience, you don't expect them to be happy at wrongdoing. And that is why most of the time people pick on Jumoke. You understand what I'm saying? Right. Because when she said things, she let it outrightly without compromise. Jumoke, that's why I shouldn't weigh you down. Be yourself. No matter what, be yourself. That's how God creates you. And you cannot compromise your own conscience with people that have no conscience. So, and in this world, you can't be a friend to everybody. When you are working with people that are good to go with them.
All right.
People that are envy and you notice them, put them aside and go your way.
All right, thank you. I don't want us to make this issue about us, Will, because we're trying to have a conversation so that we're helping each other. So everybody out there should also understand that this is not about Jumoke, Mariah individually. It's about how women become each other's enemies.
Okay. I want to say that
Generally.
Envy comes from a place, it comes from the heart. Now, when somebody is envious of you, it has to do with the person and not you. Because sometimes we get it twisted. We feel, oh, maybe I'm not doing something right. I'm doing, hey, I'm trying to please everybody, and then they still hate me and all of that. It's from them. It comes from low self-esteem on the part of the person envying you, because they've seen you and they've seen, like, what can we do to bring this person down? I don't like her guts. I don't like her confidence. I don't like the way she just behaves like she's...
I want to quickly just put some...
When you focus on it, like you said now, it distracts you from where you're going. Probably you were a go-getter and they look at your future, they say, this person's future is bright. She's already going at it. When they bring these issues, you now you carry it on your head, you get distracted, you get depressed, you lose focus.
Let me take Austin from Oshodi. Austin, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead, please.
All right. I just want to say to Jumoke this morning that she's wonderful. And I want her to continue to stand her ground. For the fact that a lot of people are going through phases in this country, and we don't have that platform to come out to say our mind. And we see somebody like pouring out what we are feeling. Jumoke, God bless you.
So I want to say something.
All right, thank you.
You see, I want to just quote a scripture, Hebrews 12, no discipline is enjoyable while it is happening. It is painful, but afterwards, there will be a peaceful harvest of right living for those who are trained in this way. So, when we go back to this topic of being the enemy, there are two things that happened. In most cases, it has to do with discipline. The person disciplining someone is being perceived as the enemy. The one being disciplined is feeling like I'm being victimized.
Yes.
But you must understand that discipline is essential for your growth because you will not have harvest if you are not being disciplined. So, even when you are on the receiving end of being, you are being seen as the evil one, take it as a lesson. So, yes, somebody is saying that I am, and it happened to me when I was handling wardrobe, because I had issues with people who were not understanding what the standards should be, and I was having to impose a rule on them. Then I got the backlash of, why is she like that? She's evil, she's not nice, she's too harsh. I decided to change my approach because sometimes what they're saying might not be excessively off point. You might be right in your statement, but your approach might be wrong. So even though you might feel like people are just seeing me as an enemy, maybe you need to watch yourself and the way you are communicating your truth to them.
Let me take Elijah Subara. Elijah Subara, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Please, permit me to digress a little bit on your paper review.
Right.
You see, the issue of, it's just unfortunate. The present government, their cardinal point is corruption. But the worst corruption is happening within this system. Most of our leaders have been alleged on corruption, especially most of them, I would mention like IGP and so many of them. But the issue now is the senators, they are now, it's like a death after story after death. Now, this is the people that they deprive a particular, most of the cardinal.
Okay, I think. Okay,
I wanted us to address, you mentioned before we went on the break that they will now come out with, I'm better than you. That's why you are envious. Rather than admittance of wrong. Someone has done wrong, right? And then you take the punitive measure that you shouldn't have done this, or you go on 2 weeks expulsion or suspension. And they come out with, you don't
like
fit into
you're saying my story. So I was, honestly, we were fined for somebody wearing short dress. And money was taken from my salary as well as the person's salary. And the person did not talk to me for 6 months because in her mind, I should have fought for her more. I think that we must take the lessons. In every situation, whenever we're confronted with any situation, take the lessons. There's room for improvement. Nobody is perfect.
There's an angle I want us to go to. I think we've said quite a bit of this. There's an angle of the person who's perceived to be the enemy, right? Okay. How do you deal with being the enemy? And how do you live above that? Such that, because I remember the situation where what happened that my husband was practically trying to train me. Say, Morel, you're too nice. You need to be strong. So we now make a decision and go. There was a situation that happened not a few months ago that I think I told you that I discussed something with the person and I was trying to review the issue with the person. Listen, this is why I did this, make the person understand. So now I tried to say hello to the person afterwards. Of course, the person ignored me. My husband was thinking, why to Baloki in the first place? So my husband now drove me where that person was. Morel, you're going to walk past that person.
Without saying hi?
Without saying hi.
I like your husband.
I said, bro, I can't do that. No.
That's not the Jesus
he was
trying
to teach me how to be strong with Morel. Yes. And I walked past and I said, hello. I said, that's not me. That's not me. I cannot be another person. If that's how you handle issues. So in being me, let me finish my point. So if me being me, how are you comfortable in being me? So if you're in me, how do you continue to be me?
Whatever it is, life is not, you cannot control what life will throw at you, but you can control how you react towards it. So when I look at myself, one is you must know yourself. Right. That way nobody is going to. And I wrote something yesterday. I said, everybody is being influenced or manipulated, or as in there is leadership pushing you one way or the other. Yes. So when you know yourself, and that's where you will not be influenced negatively. Right. When you know yourself, you can be yourself in whatever situation. Now somebody would still hate on you, even when you have known and you have been
even
yourself.
When you had smiled.
And if you are, there's room for defending yourself. And I always say defend because nobody can defend you more than you. Right. But when you've done it, clear your mind.
See, I would have slapped you 2 times. My Oga needs to call you back before they realize that I was only rude to Jumoke or Matisa Keleme.
Let's take a break.
Forgive you.
When we come back, we'll take some tweets. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. We have lots of tweets. Can we take tweets first, Nima, before we then come to you?
Joe Kowando says, it is better for you to love than hate. So God won't prepare a table for one you hate in your presence. Adiyalatu says, whenever you are successful, you must have enemies. People would learn how to control their envy and jealousy to avoid prejudice. Women envy each other than men. That's from Emmanuel. Andrew Inshim says, I think, Morayo, that Nigerian women hate each other. I see other women from other areas that don't. Balogun Bolaji says, of course, why on earth would I do that? The blame is on me. I don't know.
Pastor Yemi says, you can't satisfy everybody. Be yourself. Just be sure that you don't do anything against God's will. If a wealth official says, while correction is necessary for growth, your methods are even most important so as not to lose its essence.
Okay, Honorable Kobrai says, worst case is that you don't know that they view you as the enemy until they act against you, and usually you're wrong with the perception that you're not viewed as the enemy. I wanted to respond to what Morayo said. There's nothing wrong in continuing being yourself. You're a beautiful person inside and outside. Whether somebody insists that you have an ugly side, don't listen to that. And don't let that person's view or opinion of you make you change. For instance, if you had passed that person, the real Morayo would say hi, whether or not you have issues.
Yeah.
So say hi. It's the person's problem whether they want to respond or not. You will continue where you're going. If you're the madam, you're like on this, in my area, for instance, I like to greet everybody whether you're old or young. I just greet you and pass. So whether you call it show off, or she's just trying to be nice, that's your headache. Well, the way I'm trained, I'll just greet you and pass.
I feel like you're abusing me.
Because Jumoke will not greet.
I will not greet you, Ni. Why should I greet you?
When you're upset, I'm
upset.
You get to that point eventually.
It depends.
That's not the immediate thing. You get there eventually.
Let me take this call from Ijebu Ode. Go ahead. Thanks for calling.
Jumoke, you have been interesting all this while. I greet you. Anima, I've always been my friend. Good morning. I just got to contribute 1 or 2 things to this very topic for today. When we look at hatred, we look at beefing, it has caused a very big damage globally. Let me use myself as an example. Almost a decade of years ago, out of this beefing of it, I'm this industrious type, I'm creative, but my neighbor at the downside there is someone that comes to me virtually every day to get one to knowledge about the things we do, because we do illicit job. Do you know he went and sent some boys to relieve me? I was stabbed in the eyes. Jesus. Up to today, I tell you, I still feel the pains whenever I think of this very issue. Now, after the stab in the eyes, I bleeded seriously. It came out through my nose, my ears, my mouth. I almost gave it up that very day. But you know, after that very incident, I was forced to leave that very premises. It caused me to be a wanderer.
Okay, so that's obviously an extreme case of
envy.
Where it can lead to.
One of the ways you can fight envy is love.
That's the number one way.
That's my husband's solution.
No, honestly, I know I'm as hot as you are.
I agree with you. It's what the Bible says.
No, yes. I've tried it over time, and I used to be very vindictive growing up. You give to me, I give you back. In fact, I can plan you, take my time, plan you, and get my revenge. But as I started growing and with experiences of life, I realized that the best way to handle hate and handle envy is love. try as much as possible to love everybody.
But may I tell you what that does to someone like me, right? I feel cheated. The one thing I hate most in the world is injustice.
Same here. So what you do
So
is...
I'm going to go away crying. See, if I don't give it back to you immediately, no.
Give him
I will feel cheated.
Give him back.
See, let me give it back to you.
Yes,
I'll go back to God and go and ask for forgiveness.
No,
I feel better.
No,
God bless you.
Hold on. The giving back is if peradventure somebody just comes at you, my first
No, let me explain to
come
Jumoke
back.
why giving back might be bad. When you do, the prophet said, do not react, do not retaliate over proportion to what the person has done. Because you really cannot determine how to be proportionate in your reaction. It's better to, you know, to leave it sometimes.
Flexibility is very key, because as you grow old, you get experiences that will teach you to change some areas of your life. So by nature, you might be the phlegmatic person. You're always calm, you take everybody, please everybody. Over time, you might evolve into being more vocal about yourself. There's no crime in doing that. But one thing is, when you see the wrong and the places you need to improve, always work on improving yourself.
Very good.
Don't be started. Don't say this is my nature. I am a very fair person. This is the way I am.
But
work on improving yourself.
When your nice girl is being taken for a fool, when your simplicity is being called stupidity,
reduce the niceness.
Sometimes you have to. That's why I said eventually you get to that point where Jumoke is where you say, I cannot be greeting you. Eventually you get there, because when you greet morning, afternoon, night for 10 days, and the person is not answering, you will know that this person, we don't have the relationship of greeting again.
I won't
You'll
even
be fasting.
I won't even
You
feel
go into it.
There will be no guilt in me. I'm a Christian.
Exactly.
I love God. Though. There will be no guilt in me when I walk past you and I whistle past. Because maybe I greeted you yesterday
and you didn't answer. Yes.
And I
no, they are
back.
setting.
I'm a Christian. What
My own when I greet you, you don't reciprocate greeting. You too, you see me.
But
don't
let me
greet
tell you
first.
what worked for me.
Relax,
right?
will not be greeting.
I've had many people come at me with injustice, and my first reaction is human, which is I go right back at you.
Okay?
But there are sometimes when it is more than that, and I've realized what has worked the most, aside from me reacting and feeling better immediately, what solves it permanently is me going down. There's a Bible passage about enemies. I kneel down in all honesty and pray, mentioning that person's name. Never has it failed me that God will not solve the issue.
So that's beautiful.
The thing about life is one must have integrity and be true to yourself. Like I said, even you that are being hated, that you feel you are unjustly being called the enemy, unjustly being called the enemy. If you look deep, there might be some things you've done that have solicited that tag of being the enemy.
And
so go out of your way to please a bit. So you might apologize, even when you feel like I shouldn't do this. Do your part. So you have a clear hello. So you have a clear conscience.
She's talking to herself.
She's talking to herself.
Wait. I have to run off here.
Your clear conscience is what helps you to receive grace from God. There is nothing you have that wasn't given to you. So as much as possible, when you clear your mind, God will vindicate you at the end of the day. But when you hold on to that grudge or hold on to being called the enemy, you lose it.
Okay. There's something I want to quickly add. When I started working in that organization, I just finished after NYSC, and you know, fresh out of school, you're feeling fly,
I don't
feeling
have time
good,
for this story. Straight to the point.
And so I realized that there were certain things I was doing that was wrong. You know, I felt it was just me being me and me being blunt, and then I could look at an elder and just give it to you face to face. And over time, people started talking to me, and I realized that I could have said, it was rude. I could have said it in a different way. And I learned along the way.
I think in rounding off,
consider it.
In every situation you're in, pick out the learnings.
Okay.
Either you perceive yourself to be an enemy, maybe the person doesn't even look at you as an enemy, and they won't think yourself. So in every situation, pick out the learnings. What have I done wrong to send that message? And what could I do better to reduce that kind of message about me? So
and once you have dealt with that,
and be
considerate, free your mind, all right? Everybody, as I had a friend that would say, everybody have your own lane. Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane. No issue. We're not confusing each other.
Don't come to my house.
Have a fabulous day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.